quite a bit of bitterness coming from Team USA's coach Cheryl Reeves when she was asked pretty much any questions about Caitlin Clark. And she was asked if there was any second guessing from her on Caitlin Clark not making the team, and she very just spitefully says no. Doesn't elaborate on it, just says no.
For me? Yeah. No.
And it's funny to me how even she coached this game, because if you didn't think Caitlin Clark was the caliber of player that she is, then why would you feel the need to face guard her, to trap her, to...
What happens when a championship coach grabs a clipboard and starts throwing heat? Total chaos. Cheryl Reeve just called out every coach and the whole Indiana Fever team over the All-Star voting. And she wasn't holding back. If you thought WNBA drama was low-key, think again. Reeve came with receipts, attitude, and something to prove. This is one meltdown you don't want to miss. Let us dive in.
Just finished watching the All-Star selection. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Caitlin Clark is a menace, man. She literally kicked Cheryl Reeves off the team. That's my team. I don't... Yo, son. Cheryl Reeves, you asked for it. You asked for it. So now Sandy Brondello will be coaching Caitlin Clark's team, and Cheryl Reeves is going to be coaching the Fisa Collier's team. This is insane right here. And it's like, yo, Cheryl Reeves, I get it. You have the best record in the WNBA so far. You want as many plays that...
Cheryl Reeve could be handing out gold bars and curing diseases, and people would still line up to say, no thanks, we're good, even if she makes a good point. That old-school WNBA vibe she gives off feels out of place, like showing up to a streaming battle with a VHS tape. It's like using a rotary phone in a world full of smartphones.
Bruh, tell me y'all just saw Caitlin Clark destroy Cheryl Reeves on national TV. I know y'all saw free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke. Bruh, Caitlin Clark want all the smoke. Bruh, she just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television.
Now she's throwing a fit over All-Star votes like she just found out democracy isn't perfect. Welcome to reality, Cheryl. The problem is, when someone from the league's old guard starts complaining, it doesn't feel like real advocacy. It sounds more like a bitter Yelp review from a coach whose team just got outplayed, outshined, and outloved by a franchise the world actually cares about now.
Reeves, man, she came out stating how not only herself, but her players were kind of upset about the coaches' votes for the reserves, for the All-Star. Now, the crazy thing about it is, she's going to be coaching Caitlin Clark's team. So, I don't know how that's going to work with her coming out and saying what she said. I mean...
Oh yes, we're talking about them, the Indiana Fever. The team with 3 All-Stars. The team that breezed through the Commissioner's Cup like they were born for the spotlight. And now, suddenly Cheryl's emotional dial is stuck on angry Twitter mode.
The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty. Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest.
There's something strange about someone complaining about media hype while creating even more of it by ranting in public. It's like throwing water on a grease fire and being shocked when it explodes. Cheryl isn't really upset about fairness. She's upset because the spotlight used to be on her system, her players, her rules. Now that spotlight's shifted, and it's clearly bothering her. Let's be real. This is classic All-Star envy. Nothing stirs up WNBA drama like one team landing 3 All-Star spots while another gets nothing but a polite clap. Suddenly, it's no longer about basketball, it's about algorithms, fairness, and integrity, whatever that means today. When her players don't get picked, it's a broken system. But when her team wins, then everything's working perfectly. Funny how that works. But here's the real sting. She had to watch her team get dominated by the very Indiana Fever squad she's bitter about. It wasn't a lucky win or a buzzer-beater fluke, it was a clear, convincing loss in the Commissioner's Cup, a game that actually mattered. And that's what really hurt. Not the All-Star votes. The scoreboard.
They're there. There's nothing no crying and whining is going to do about it. The same way you didn't give two shits about Caitlin Clark's fan base and all that. Don't nobody give two shits about your crying. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you're coaching Caitlin Clark team. I don't understand why you had to make it a big deal and say, oh, well, this team's below us to have more plays and us and it's disappointing. And like, what are you talking about? Like, you already kept her off the Olympics. Now you're going to complain about her having more teammates than your players on the court. This team.
That loss wasn't just a hit to Cheryl's ego, it was a full-blown, televised reality check. Now she's acting like the neighbor whose kid didn't get into Harvard while the one across the street went viral on TikTok. It's petty, it's dramatic, and honestly, it's classic Reeve. Nothing says, I'm totally fine, like publicly melting down over a popularity contest she claims doesn't matter unless it suddenly does. The WNBA is finally blowing up. Instead of riding the wave, Cheryl's out here shouting about fairness and respect like a group of young stars with Instagram deals is about to ruin the league. Newsflash, they already took over. And it's working. Ratings are up. Merch is selling fast. The Fever went from internet joke to legit movement. But sure, let's pretend it's still 2014, and veteran coaches deserve trophies just for wearing a blazer. This isn't about fairness, it's about vibes. The All-Star picks weren't random. They were driven by buzz, by viral moments fans actually cared about. You can't outcoach that kind of energy. You can't design a playbook to beat momentum. Cheryl's still trying to play chess while everyone else is live streaming Uno to millions, and every time she thinks she's got the upper hand, the new wave hits her with a reverse card and keeps it moving.
They asked Caitlin Clark, hey Caitlin, are there any player trades you like to make? Nah, I'm kind of set with my team, but I would like to trade coaches. I like it. I don't know what's gotten into Caitlin Clark. You are leaning into this bad guy role. I love it. I don't know what's gotten into you, Caitlin Clark, but you've been on some I don't give a F lately. I love it.
Let's be real, if Cheryl's team had 3 All-Stars, she wouldn't say a word. There'd be a celebration, confetti, maybe even a LinkedIn post bragging about culture wins, but the moment her players get passed over, suddenly it's a crisis about ethics and fairness. Come on. The only real crisis is trying to fake grace while secretly fuming over someone else getting the spotlight. It's funny how teamwork and merit quickly turn into, the system is rigged when the votes don't go your way. The system's only broken when it stops favoring the usual power players. The league is finally growing, getting national attention, but if that attention shifts away from the old guard, it becomes a problem. Cheryl's not fighting for justice. She's uncomfortable with becoming irrelevant. And deep down, everyone can see it. Her outrage has a certain flavor, the kind that comes from watching the game evolve and not knowing whether to adjust or just throw a fit. She chose the fit. Because when your legacy is built on being the smartest one in the room, nothing stings more than realizing the room moved on without you. The fever is rising literally, and Cheryl's stuck in a snowstorm of her own expectations. Watching her unravel over an all-star list at halftime feels like watching someone yell at a touchscreen.
Being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from. Of course, Reeve wasn't a part of the official committee, but, some may believe she had some say in how all that went down. Regardless, the picking between the players was a lot of fun, and Caitlin Clark also wound up with all of the Fever members on her squad as well, meaning Aaliyah Boston, Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell will be a trio in Indianapolis.
The WNBA is finally having its moment, and some people are so bitter, they'd rather see it stall than celebrate the players pushing it forward. This isn't just sour grapes, it's the whole vineyard. Grape juice, grape jelly, and a bottle of aged wine. And deep down, Cheryl knows it. But admitting it would mean accepting that the game has outgrown her old-school ways. Winning alone isn't enough anymore. Charisma, visibility, and relevance matter now. And if your brand can't keep up, no amount of yelling about all-star votes will fix that. The truth is, the Fever earned the spotlight. Whether it was planned or just chaos, they became the center of the WNBA world. And Cheryl? She turned into the loud side character shouting from the sidelines. It's not a good look. It feels outdated, like she's stuck in 2007 while everyone else has moved on. Even if she has a few fair points, People don't want to hear complaints from someone who just lost. That's not analysis, it's ego in disguise. And when the All-Star Game tips off, fans will cheer, the fever will shine, and Cheryl will still be trying to rewind a clock that's not interested. The drama in the WNBA is next level, like a soap opera in sneakers. One week it's a missed call, the next it's an Instagram unfollow. And just like that, the league keeps moving forward with or without the old playbook.
Clark was supposed to be coached by Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. Nafisa Collier was supposed to be coached by New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. They swapped coaches. Cheryl Reeve, dodged the bullet. Thank God I don't need to coach Caitlin Clark, man. Man, I can't deal with that. I would have had to swallow so much pride, I can't do that. Fee, she probably called him the Fee, talk to Caitlin, please. I can't coach her, I can't do it. This book's about to come out. You know what they're going to be saying if I'm coaching Caitlin Clark and the book's out? Oh, God. Fee, please.
Now Cheryl Reeve storming out of the All-Star Committee like her favorite soap opera just got cancelled. The WNBA isn't just about basketball anymore, it's a full-on spectacle of side eyes, shady interviews, and three-point shots served with the drama of high school rumors. It's chaotic, exhausting, and somehow still wildly fun to watch. But here's the part everyone keeps forgetting. All-Star Weekend isn't a playoff game. It's not about film sessions, box outs, or defensive stats from the last month. It's for the fans. It's the halftime show of the WNBA season, full of glitter selfies and maybe a dunk if someone feels bold. Once you understand that, all the outrage about who got picked starts to feel silly, like someone throwing a fit at a birthday party because their cake only had one candle. What Cheryl and others in her old school circle don't seem to get is this: fans aren't voting with spreadsheets. They vote with heart, with emotion, loyalty, and hype. If All-Star was just about performance, fine, run the stats through Excel, sort the top 10 and call it a day. But that's not what this is. It's a show. And the crowd's already picked their stars.
Lads, we gotta talk about something right here. We have got to talk about something. Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She just picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them. She made sure there were no ops on her team. If she's played with a player before, like Sonia Citron, she picked her. Gabby Williams, she picked nobody that's tweeted an